about to listen to the Dr. Daliah Show. Sassy, stimulating medical talk radio. Any medical advice Dr. Daliah Wax gives on her show should not be substituted for an actual visit to your medical provider. And now, here's Dr. Daliah.
Back on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877 Dr. 1-877-DOCDALI. So we'll give you any breaking news if we have a new pope. But boy, what a beautiful, beautiful conclave that we were able to see as they let the media inside the Sistine Chapel. Exquisite. I never got to see the Sistine Chapel when I was in Italy because it was closed for a saint's birthday. I forget which saint at the time. So I'm like, oh, there's no line, because usually there's lines hours and hours long to get into, the Sistine Chapel or any of these beautiful places. And I'm like, there's no line. Well, they're like, what's closed today? I was like, no, because, I wasn't going to be there, long enough to be able to wait till the next day. But we got to see inside the Sistine Chapel, and you got to see the high priests as they are, and cardinals who are going to be voting. From CNN is reporting there's going to be 133 cardinals voting. There's no clear front runner having emerged to take over the leadership of the Roman Catholic Church after the death of Pope Francis last month. And so the Sistine Chapel, after we saw the conclave come in and sit at their seats, and it looked like they had, prayer, and they were going to then have discussion and they lock up the Sistine Chapel to outsiders, and this afternoon, they're going to be casting their ballots. Now, I think, though, in Rome, it's already nighttime. So I think afternoon in America while they're working at night. And so it's kind of interesting. They say to guarantee complete secrecy, the Sistine Chapel will be placed under total lockdown. And I also believe they're using signal jammers around the Sistine Chapel to prevent electronic surveillance or communication outside the conclave. The cardinals also had to give up their phones and all their electronic devices. They're only going to get them back once the conclave has ended. It's fascinating. This is a centuries-old process, electing the new pope. And here we are in 2025, collecting cell phones from the cardinals. It's crazy, just crazy. And so everybody has to take an oath of secrecy. I believe Archbishop Diego Giovanni Ravelli has just given the order to extra ohms, which is a Latin phrase meaning everybody out. All right. And I'm sure he doesn't say get that. It's probably very, very priestly. So all of the quote unquote extras file out, and then the 133 cardinals are left to do what they need to. And they're from all over the world. And so it's a beautiful process. And now, they're going to be deciding who should, be the next pope. So how I guess the vote works is 9 cardinals are chosen, according to CNN, to perform specific roles in each session. 3 scrutineers oversee the voting. 3 infirmarial collect the votes from sick cardinals in their rooms, like infirmary. And then 3 revisers verify the results. After each session, smoke from the chimney above the Sistine Chapel signals to the world that a new pope has been chosen. So that's how they let the public know. I know there's been memes where you saw blue smoke and they're saying, it's a gender reveal for a boy, and people are making jokes about that. But it's a really beautiful process. So a ballot paper is handled to each cardinal. No mail-in ballots. No, none of that BS. And it's actual paper that you fill out, although the sick cardinals are able to submit theirs through a proxy. So stand corrected. But for the ones currently there in the Sistine Chapel, a ballot paper is handed to each cardinal. They write their chosen candidate's name. Cardinals walk to the altar in order of seniority. Seniority. Why is that so difficult to say? Each are holding their folded ballot in the air. The cardinal drops his vote in the receptacle that's covered by a plate. We were able to see that. The media showed that receptacle. Then the 3 scrutineers count, record, and read the votes out loud. As the name is read out loud, the scrutineer pieces the ballots with a threaded needle through the word eligo, and then the ballots are tied together and placed in a third urn for burning. The smoke signals the conclave result. Black smoke means no candidate has received the required majority of votes cast, but white smoke means the cardinals have reached a consensus and elected a new pope. That's pretty cool. And I know there's been a lot of back and forth on how the Catholic Church moves forward. Century old, teachings and, biblical scripture, is obviously the foremost. But as times change, as we saw with Pope Francis, he appeared to have, a different take than his predecessors as it pertained to abortion, as it pertained to same-sex marriage, as it pertained to a lot of different things. And so, there's been a lot of back and forth on, does the Catholic Church continue to be the barometer of Catholicism and the Bible, or does the interpretation start to bend with the times? And it's going to be interesting to see, who they decide. You have popes from all over the world, and their ideology, and it's interesting because it's like, I read the Bible, and my interpretation of what it says could be completely different from somebody sitting next to me. And you would think the Bible says. Yep. Abraham begot Jacob. Yeah, Jacob begot. I mean, you would think it was, but there are interpretations. I mean, look at Jews on Passover. You have the Sephardic Jews saying, of course, it's okay to eat rice, which I agree with. Okay, rice is not leavened bread. Yet the Ashkenazi Jews say, no, you can't have rice. You can't have corn. It's like, where does the Bible say that? But that's their interpretation, because if you were going to extrapolate to the 2020s, what you had to sacrifice, when you observe Passover, that would equate to all grains. So, although it's the yeast and the leavened bread, you could eat matzah, which is flour and water. Well, so we'll keep you posted if we have a new pope. 1-877 Doc Daliah. Hi guys, Dr. Daliah here. Addictions can sneak up on us and come in many forms. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, video games, porn, or something less obvious such as food, internet, or shopping, addiction can seem innocent at first and then evolve into an insurmountable evil. In our book, Addiction Basics, Caitlin Kalikas and I dive into the common addictions and provide tips for identifying and preventing these before they sneak in and take over our lives. Addiction Basics can be found on Amazon or my website, drdaliah.com. Check it out.
Carl Amari here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you, and be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
The cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hotshot Secret, powered by science.
In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality, please go to totalwellness.com. Supplements made for physicians, only now available to you too. totalwellness.com, helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
right. We are back at the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-Dr. Daliah, 1-877-DOCDALI. Big thanks to Talk Media Network for making the show happen. Big thanks to Daniel, our producer. And big thanks to you all for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, X, Dr. Daliah, Facebook, The Dr. Daliah Show, and on YouTube. Click like and subscribe. So I know Mother's Day's coming when I hear somebody in the family go, oh, crap, Mother's Day's this weekend. That, oh, crap. And we all have said it at one point because they're like, oh, man, I got to get a gift. I got to do something. I got to find flowers. I got to get reservations. It is almost impossible to get reservations for Mother's Day brunch. In fact, I was able to get Father's Day dinner. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to Prime Steakhouse at the Bellagio. I'm going to take hubby there. Really, really excited. But for Mother's Day, I completely forgot about it. And so I did get a place. So I'm excited that I found a place. But we scrambled. And everybody seems to scramble around Mother's Day. And I think maybe it's because there's graduations. Kids are finishing in school roughly this month. A lot of us are sneezing with allergies, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. So I think a lot of people scramble. And then also because we take our moms for granted. We do. They're mom. All you have to do is go, oh, I love you, mommy. I need you, mommy. And they're good. Your moms will always forgive you, no matter what. So even if you forgot Mother's Day. But let's try to, aim a little higher. Okay. And love you, Mom. Okay. See you tomorrow. Yeah. So, what do you get your mom for Mother's Day? So what the average person is doing right now is trying to find some flowers or some soap on a rope. It was easy because in school you would make in the kiln an ashtray. And I remember my mom smoked a little bit when she was younger. So I would make her an ashtray and it would never turn out because it was always kind of deformed looking. And I'm like, there's your Mother's Day gift. Whew. Okay, let's move on. And, your mom, would pretend to like it. Oh, wow. This is so nice. I remember my son made something for me in Mother's Day and it scared the hell out of me. It was the most ugliest thing, but it was scary. And it was some deformed woman. Like thingy, and he gives it to me, and I go, "Oh my God, what is this?" He's like, "That's you." I was like, "Are you kidding me? You think I look like that?" And I had to remember, he was only the first grade, but I'm like, really, you draw me better than that. Honestly, do I really look like that? I mean, it was all Picasso. I mean, nothing was aligned. I think I only had one eye. I'm like, is that how you see me? I almost took him into therapy because I was like, geez. So anyway, you shouldn't be scrambling. So what does your mom want? Well, it's interesting. Moms, the reason why a lot of people run to grab some gift randomly is because they've gotten the talk from their mom going, you didn't even remember my birthday, or you didn't even remember Mother's Day. You didn't even get me anything. Now, see, I don't say that to the kids because what I usually want on Mother's Day is a day off. Okay, let me potty without somebody bugging me. Just somebody pick up some of the slack so I don't have to. Let me watch hockey because it's hockey season without anybody bugging me. And so me, I like the whole piece of quiet. Leave the seat down for once, just the seat down, and I'm good. But you have other, people think, well, if I don't get them something, it's going to look like I forgot. So they'll randomly go and grab flowers, randomly go and grab something. And, I told my kids, you don't have to do that. Flowers are really expensive and they have to die. And, you don't have to do that. Just, tell me you love me. In fact, my son already gave me a Mother's Day gift. So my son had PRK for a corrective vision surgery. And he asked me to be there. And he actually asked me to be in the room. And I was like, oh my gosh, he needs his mommy. He needs his mommy. And just knowing that my son, wants his mom around was all I needed. Now, don't tell him that because, he still might get me a gift. And I do need a good iPhone case. So just, but, that was I just want to feel needed. I want to feel like I'm not irrelevant anymore. and that, you do appreciate what I've done. So do that to start. Okay. And it doesn't cost you anything. Write your mom a letter, write your mom a card and say, look, when you did that, and remember stuff that they did. That I love that. They go, Mom, do you remember when you spoke at my school and you did this and you did? And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was really good. They remembered that because that means you made an impact. The big worry us moms go through, is that we're going to be long forgotten. I mean, that always happens. They find somebody, to love, and they go on, they have their own, and that's like, oh gosh, we got to see mom, or somebody call mom, or is what, she's still alive? And so we moms worry about that. And so on Mother's Day, write her a note or in a card, not just, here's your Mother's Day card. We love you, Mom. Now, something like, when you told me this, after I got beat up by that bully or after I failed a test or whatever, that really meant a lot to me. I remember when you said that to me. And I never forgot it. Those are words to live by. Like, remember Talladega Nights, if you ait first, you last? Now, it turns out Ricky Bobby's dad was high at the time, he said. But still, the fact that, it's good to hear that something they remember from their childhood, still resonates with them. So I think that's pretty important. So what are some other ideas? Because I know some of you guys have a paper and pencil out, or you're ready to type or text some of these ideas, because I give you guys some good ideas. So give her a hug. Yeah, look, I know, but just give her a hug. Hug your mama, and not the, like the little pat. Give her a hug like you used to give when you were a little baby. Call her mommy. Yeah, you always get mom. But mommy, just call me mommy. If your mom is older and she's helping with the grandkids, thank her for what she did with the grandkids and the time that she spent with them, and have the grandkids also partake. It's really good. Dump a bunch of that on the grandkids. Okay. If you can't draw or fill out a card, give your mom something to do. So she needs to feel relevant. So if she's not helping with the kids, if she's not a part of your life, give her something to do. So, what could you do? Well, you could ask her to help with the family tree. Say, look, you know so much about our family that I want to give this to the kids. So can you help me organize, the family tree, or give me something from our past? Another thing is the recipes. Okay, I love my mom, but she wasn't the best cook, so this isn't something I'm going to ask her to do. But let's say you have a mom who could cook. Sorry, Mom. I got your skills. I can't cook either. I could do a mean duck. I could do frosted flake chicken. I could make some things, but for the most part, let's say she was a good cook. Go, mommy. I want those recipes. Let's put down. Well, I don't know. I just do a pinch of this, a pinch of that, a pinch of that. I go, great. Let's write that down, because I want the kids to be able to enjoy what I enjoyed with your cooking. Oh God, she's gonna love that. Have her decorate a room in your house. Now, no, calm down. Okay, it could be the garage. Okay, it doesn't have to be a room you live in. But ask him, if your mom has good taste, say, Mom, I need to do something with this wall. Come with me and let's figure out. You're really good. You have a good eye for this. Figure out what color paint. Figure out what color. Now, if your mom is still kind of living in the 50s and 60s, that could be an issue. But if she's got good taste, have her help you with that. Have her go shopping with you. But give her something to do. Have her plan the next party. So we have 4th of July coming up. Say, Mom, I remember you threw great parties. What should we do? Give her, and don't make it look like you're just patronizing them. One thing that I think is also great is have her write a book. You could do this with her, where if there's something that she felt strong about, or mommy-isms, say, Mom, you gave a lot of good advice. Let's write those down and put it in a book. You can publish it on Amazon for free. People might not buy it, but at least now you have a book that you could give your kids and grandkids. They really love that stuff. Ask for pictures. Usually moms save everything, your old stuff, old pictures, whatever, and go through those, or sit down with her with those pictures and go, who's that guy in the back? Who's that person not smiling? Who's that over there? You know, I mean, you might learn it might be an old boyfriend, and that might actually be your real dad. Who knows? If your mom is into sports, get her gear of her favorite sports team. Ask her to cook her one of her famous dishes. Maybe take over the house for a day and let her relax. But spend time with her, and also, Mother's Day is one day in 365 days. Maybe offer to spend time other than Mother's Day with her. I think she'll like that. 1-877-DOC-DOLLY. Don't go away.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
All right. We are back on Dr. Daliah Show, 1-877-DOC-DOLLY, 1-877-DOC-DALI. So being married to my husband, Corey, who's a chiropractor, I've educated you all throughout the years on how amazing it is and what chiropractic medicine can do for your overall health, in addition to arthritis, back pain, neck pain, migraines, irritable bowel, so many things. And I was very fortunate enough, for him to teach me a lot about that. And then many of my friends who have been struggling, I've been urging them to go to the Joint. The Joint chiropractic clinics are amazing, and they make it so easy and accessible. And, all my friends swear by them. And so I'm really, really grateful that the Joint Chiropractic is allowing us to do this next segment, as May is Arthritis Awareness Month. And Dr. Steve Knauf, Doctor of Chiropractic, as well as Vice President of Chiropractic and Compliance at the Joint Chiropractic, is here to talk to us about the different types of arthritis and what chiropractic relief can do for you. Dr. Knauf, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Doc. I appreciate it.
Wow. Well, we appreciate all you do. So, yeah, talk to us about arthritis and the different types.
Well, there's actually over 100 different types of arthritis that exist out there, and I think that is, in and of itself, just a mind-blowing fact that a lot of people aren't aware of. But when you boil it all down, there's really just a couple of common ones that show up. The first one that we'll talk about is called osteoarthritis. And really in osteoarthritis, what happens is the joint degenerates over time, or it starts to wear down. And this is almost always because of physical stress, everyday wear and tear, overuse, poor posture, could be injury. This is the kind of arthritis that I think a lot of people associate when they hear the word arthritis. They think about athletes that wear out their joints because of just the level of physicality that they have. So that's one of the more common versions that exist out there. The other version that's really very common is called rheumatoid arthritis. Now, the same thing starts to happen with rheumatoid arthritis, in that your joints wear down and break down over time, but how it happens is very different than osteoarthritis. In rheumatoid arthritis, what actually happens is your body is attacking itself. and it's destroying its own joints basically through inflammation that eats away at the joint tissues and lining, and it's characterized as what we call an autoimmune disease, which some people are just genetically predispositioned to have. So those are really the two most common that exist out there today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And chiropractic care, many people don't understand all the treatments that chiropractic care offer beyond the spine. And talk to us about how chiropractic care can help.
So when we talk about arthritis, we're talking about joint health, essentially, and joint health is definitely a component of chiropractic care that we focus on. So as chiropractors, we're really interested in making sure that the joints are aligned properly and that they're moving really well, because sometimes they get stuck, they don't move the way that they should, or they don't move as much as they should, and that can cause or support a lot of different issues that happen out there. So when it comes to arthritis patients, we want to, one, maintain the health of the joint by keeping it moving well. And the hope there is that the arthritis doesn't progress as fast as it might have if you're not keeping that joint moving and healthy. The other thing that we hope to achieve is by keeping it moving, is your body then starts to act like a pump, and it can start to pump out some of that inflammation and gunk. It increases circulation around the joint so that your blood can take away some of those things that potentially lead to arthritis overall. So with chiropractic, we want to restore motion. A lot of people immediately feel less stiff, like they can move better. Some people experience less aches and pains so that they can get out and just move their bodies the way that they want to move them. And then long term, it's all about preventing arthritis getting worse.
Exactly. And the reason why I tell my patients to not wait until you're hurting or wait until the arthritis is bad is because the prevention is key. And people will hurt their back or their neck or their bones or joints, and they'll say, okay, now I need to go and get seen. And what I like about the joint is you could go there for maintenance. Can you talk about that?
Maintenance is so important, and one of the things that I'm really happy about recently is there is starting to be a shift, and people are becoming more aware around the benefits of preventative care. And I think it's something that I hope continues to happen overall, because you're right, a lot of these things don't just happen as soon as we start feeling pain. The reality is this process has been happening over days, months, years before you even started to feel the symptoms that you might be experiencing today. I think one of the best examples, and I think we've talked about this previously, is what's called tech neck or text neck. And we're seeing this where people are overutilizing their mobile devices. It's causing a premature straightening of their neck. They're losing that curve, and now your neck isn't able to support itself as well. And that's really the beginning stage of degeneration, which leads to osteoarthritis in the long term. And who's using tech right now at incredible levels? It's our younger generation. So it's a really important conversation to talk about wanting to take care of ourselves ahead of time and not let this become an issue. It's definitely a passion for the joint.
So true. We're speaking to Dr. Knauf, Vice President of Chiropractic Compliance at the Joint Chiropractic. So talk to us about how to, once we have arthritis, how to relieve some of that pain.
There's definitely some lifestyle changes that we talk to a lot of our patients about, because we can help up to a certain point, but there's definitely things that people can do to help themselves. One, stay active. Movement is so important, especially for people with arthritis. Some folks that are hearing this now, it seems contradictory. They're like, look, I just don't feel good. I hurt, I ache, I'm stiff, I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to get off the couch, and now you're telling me to move. But it's so important to stay active with some kind of low-impact movement. It can be as easy as walking around, light stretches, yoga, tai chi, swimming. There's a lot of low-impact movement that you can do if you have arthritis that will help get you over some of those aches and pains. The second thing that we talk about is diet and nutrition. And I know you know how important this piece is. A lot of people have probably heard of anti-inflammatory foods or inflammatory foods. And for people with rheumatoid arthritis, it's really important to avoid foods that promote inflammation. These are your sugars. These are your overly processed foods. This is alcohol. All of that for a person with rheumatoid arthritis can really make them feel a lot worse if that's part of their daily diet. And then the final, these aren't like mind-blowing facts that I think I'm going to share, but are so important to our overall health and wellness. It's the importance of getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That's when our body is able to rest, relax, and rebuild itself. Sleep is so important, and so many of us aren't getting enough. And the final is just finding ways to manage our daily stress. So sleep is great at night, but we also have to find ways to calm our bodies down during the day, whether that's through meditation or breathing exercises, whatever it is. I mean, all of us are just dealing with so much, either physical or mental stress. We got to find ways to take pauses, to give our bodies a chance to relax and heal during the day as well.
So true. Dr. Conclave, how can my listeners go for more information?
For more information, you can visit thejoint.com.
Love it. Love it. Can't wait to have you back. Godspeed, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, don't go away. We'll be right back. 1-877-DOC-DALI. Dr. Daliah here. Are you tired, burned out, gaining weight, succumbing to the daily pressures of life? Well, how's your dopamine doing? How you feel right now, how you'll feel an hour from now, and how you'll feel next week is completely reliant on your dopamine. Our daily motivation and willingness to push through challenges depends on the intricate chemical process dopamine provides. Christian Kalikas and I created Deploying Dopamine, a book that tells you what dopamine is, when it dysfunctions, and how to successfully deploy it when needed. Find Deploying Dopamine on Amazon today. Check it out.
In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality, please go to totalwellness.com. Supplements made for physicians only now available to you too. totalwellness.com, helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Self-reliance. It's not a phrase we hear much in our culture these days. It might conjure up images of pioneers, the West, rifles, strapping men, and strong women. But what does it mean for us in today's world? The New American Magazine has just released its latest collector's edition, Self-Reliance, Foundation of Freedom. In it, the New American authors outline the necessity of self-reliance for a free people, tips for self-reliant living, and the importance of not giving up hope. This unique edition includes articles on the self-sufficiency of the founders, preparing for a worst-case scenario, firearms, financial self-reliance, the importance of community, and many other topics by expert writers. Now, for a limited time, the New American is offering a bundle of 3 collector's editions, Self-Reliance, The Great Reset, and Trump World, for just $19.95. Available at shopjbs.org. Visit shopjbs.org today.
Back on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI. So I want to switch gears for a quick second here, because there's a very, very common thing that I see get spewed on social media and by critics of our current administration. And I haven't talked about this yet. And it's the term normalizing Trump. People say quit normalizing him. I've heard this term multiple times. And it's from people who are critical of Trump. And so when I talk about how he signs executive orders to, crack down on gain of function research, whatever, here's another post from somebody saying we have to stop talking about him like any of this is normal. He said it's not. He said breaking down Donald Trump in any intellectual or rational way is a futile venture at this point. It's a poop show. And and this normalizing. And I'm kind of confused where, you're looking at some of the things that is being done in this administration, which was pretty popular. That's what got Trump elected. And I keep hearing critics quit normalizing Trump. Like what he is normal. This is normal. This is a good person. I'm like, what? So you don't, like it was not the State of the Union, but the address to Congress, the speech he made where he promoted a child to, I guess, the Secret Service. Oh my gosh. I forget his name. The one that would had overcome cancer. That was pretty cool. Honoring him, honoring the girl that suffered traumatic brain injury from a transgender player during a volleyball game, and bringing them in and honoring them, and people just sitting down and not clapping and turning their back or holding signs. Now, and I know some people are saying, well, he just did that because he wanted to, get credit and points. And listen, I just want a politician to do good. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. If the border is porous and there's trafficking and there's drugs and there's sexual assault and there's, close the border, secure it, and allow there to be a proper immigration process like it was before Biden. That's pretty common sense. If our hospital infrastructure is not, safe, if we have pharmaceuticals being made in other countries when they could become our enemy at a moment's notice, then let's make sure we're more domestically independent. Let's make sure we're more domestically independent as it pertains to our fueling. Let's not wreck our beautiful globe and earth on things claiming to be good for the environment that might not, such as excessive lithium-ion batteries, excessive need for electricity, and people who live in apartments that can't charge their house in a garage now struggling in a car that might not start in the cold or heat. These are let's just use some common sense. We all want to protect the environment. We all want our country to be strong. None of us want war. Well, there's some idiots out there that do, but we want peace. We want peace through strength. Yet I keep seeing this quit trying to normalize them. So I can't even talk about an executive order coming out of the White House without somebody trying to ridicule. And I get it. I saw that with Biden. Anything Biden did, people are like, well, what's he doing? What's he doing? And mind you, some of that was deserved criticism. What the hell is he doing here? But, for the most part, if there's something that needs to be done, get it done. But I think people hate the fact that Trump won. People hate the fact that Trump has popularity. And I for the moderate Democrats, I get along great with them. I get along great with the moderate Republicans. I don't like extremes. But for those who are extreme, what they have said all this time is, well, the election was stolen. Trump got in because of Russia. It was fake. And there's just a select minority of wackos that voted him in. That's what they have been saying all these years after the first term. Then all of a sudden, overwhelmingly, there's a red tsunami. And I get not a big margin, a tighter one in the House and the Senate, but still, you have the American, and that was after millions of people were allowed across the border wearing Biden shirts, right? That for him to win resoundingly with that big shift in possible voters and population changes, it showed, that the majority of Americans wanted Trump. or his policies. So why do we keep having this sort of criticism of, quit normalizing? People don't want the media to talk about the news. They just want media to say, oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's this. You know, a friend of mine who's middle of the road, but his household always has the liberal media. You know, he's like, so is it really the way the news is saying? Is the world falling? Is he a fascist? Is he? And I'm like, no. I don't see the world falling apart. And he was even saying, you know, reciprocal tariffs make sense. Why are people saying that's bad? Because anything that Trump wants to do, they're going to say is bad. And I saw that happen with Obama and Biden and Bush. I mean, you know, when somebody is, you know, against a political party, that's what they're going to say. But the problem is we've let our news get dominated by sensationalism, yellow journalism, entertainment. Somebody just wants to know what the hell is going on. Well, what's going on is apparently we have been paying tariffs that are ridiculously high and not reciprocal. And we're getting screwed by multiple countries. So Trump wants to stop that and ensure that we are either paying them reciprocally, or as he said, he can't, you know, do it the same amount because the other economies would drop because they charge us so much, but at least half of what they're charging us. So like if Vietnam is tariffing up 90%, America can't tariff Vietnam 90%, but he's going to tariff them a different percent. I mean, that's not, that's not junk science. We're getting screwed. We have a border where drug dealers and murderers and criminals are coming across, and I get, you know, there's American citizens that are criminals, but we don't need any more. You know, people are saying, gosh, you know, if I get killed, I don't care if they were illegal or legal. We want to limit the amount of crime. And sometimes it's difficult to prevent, but some causes are very preventable. So securing the border is a preventable, move you can make to diminish criminals and cartel from coming in. Not rocket science, people. And the more Trump comes up with popular common sense issues, and that's why the Democrats lost. It was all about the extremes, the sex topics, the bathrooms, the locker rooms, you don't have to be a boy, you don't have to be a girl if you don't want to. And I'm kind of blown away because Lady Gaga and everybody else had the message in the teens, be proud of who you are, love who you are. You were born this way. All right? Embrace what you got and don't think it's a bad thing. Make it a good thing. And now all of a sudden it's like, if you don't want to be that, then we'll go take medicine and change. I thought we were not doing that. I thought if somebody was gay, we weren't going to try to force them to not be gay by medications and therapy. And now all of a sudden, you're not a boy, you're not a girl. Okay, we'll take medicines and we'll force it the other way. I thought, guys, it's hypocritical. 1-877 Doc Daliah, don't go away.
Did you know that healthy arteries make a gas? Yes, actually 3 known gases. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch, and nitric oxide is a gas that's readily made all day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel walls. By doing this, our circulation is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. Both age and poor diet can lead to a loss of this precious gas, and in turn, blood pressure can go up, energy can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product, Ultimate Nitric Oxide, can easily help fix this lack of nitric oxide. Go to TotalWellness.com. That's TotalWellness.com, where we are helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.